everyone. I wanted to give you an update from HUP, Hospital of University of Pennsylvania. I've been here a little more than a week. I was hardly home from my double mastectomy with deep flap for a week in between the actual surgery before I was readmitted for an infection in my left breast. I wanted to share some of this with all of you because one, it's fascinating, two, knowledge is power, and it shares some of the frustration and the reason behind some of what I advocate for. Now, when you have this kind of procedure, they send you home. I'm not going to show you anything that's going to gross you out. I'm going to keep it very simple with 4 drains. They look kind of like grenades. One is coming out of each breast and one is coming out of each hip. And that drains the fluid from the procedure. The problem is I was having no fluid coming out and it was building up in my breast, which what they believe was giving me this high fever of 103 that was climbing to 104. We couldn't control it. And I knew that coming from my history with acute myeloid leukemia, that when you have ibuprofen or Tylenol, you can easily mask a fever. And I knew that if you can't control it, that's a problem. I've been there before. I've lost friends to a similar situation, so it terrified me. So between going to the ER, then coming here to HUP here in Philadelphia and getting readmitted, then you saw my whole story about having to share a room, being immune compromised. That wasn't fun. But thankfully, by the grace of God, I was able to get my own room. Fast forward from that, they were able to aspirate my left breast, which means they put me in a sterile situation with a needle. They numbed an area and aspirated more than 3 ounces of fluid out of my breast and a hematoma. And they believe, since it was not pus, that it was not an infection. It was just the hematoma that caused the fever. Well, here's the problem. About a few hours later, I have another enlargement area and it's red and it's a problem. So they said, okay, you need to have this done again. We need to get to the bottom of this. This is not usual, and we need to make sure you don't have an infection. Problem is now, in addition to doing that aspiration, they want to do a conscious sedation and be ready that if there is an infection, which means if instead of seeing blood or a hematoma, they see some sort of pus or something that reflects an infection, that they can put a drain within my breast that can help drain it, different than the one that's coming out of my side. They said they would have to do that. The problem with that is I have to lay flat on the table. I can't lay flat. I'm at a 90-degree angle here in my bed, and the incision in my stomach is excruciating. And anybody who's had this done will tell you it hurts. It hurts to stand up. You walk hunched over. They expect you to walk hunched over. They tell you to walk hunched over. So I told them, I don't know how I'm going to do that because I can't lay down flat. So either you drug me and then lay me down. The problem here that led to a lot of tears today, just because I'm so frustrated, is I was supposed to have this today done on a Saturday. My left breast is in a lot of pain. It looks infected. It's red. And they came in and told me, sorry, we don't do these today, even though you're scheduled, because you're not a true emergency. They said tomorrow, if there's an emergency for whatever reason, whether it's a car accident or an emergency within the hospital, and we have people using that room and the staff, we will call you in right after that and do it. But I know from the conscious sedation I've had from bone marrow biopsies that it's not going to completely put me out, and I'm going to feel the pain. I've been there many, many, many times, and I don't know how they're going to get me to lay flat. So we'll see how that goes. It's either going to happen tomorrow if they have an emergency and have the staff, or it's going to happen Monday. My fear and my stress and the tears I had today is, am I going to have a problem waiting until Monday? They took me off of IV antibiotics, put me on a pill antibiotic because they thought they were going to do the aspiration today. And now I'm just worried of whether I'm covered. And there's just, I feel like at some point, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like I've seen enough and heard enough conversations of, am I covered, am I not? So that's been some of the stress. Yesterday, they did take out 2 of the drains from my right side, one of the breast, one other side. And let me tell you, my friends, it felt like a garden hose was being pulled out. That was worse than the Hickman being pulled out when I had leukemia. Caesar was able to videotape it. They say 3, 2, 1, and they pull. Excruciating. Nevertheless, that's where we stand. I was able to somehow manage to wash my hair myself. It's different here being not on an oncology unit. And So it's just been a little bit of a different experience, but I've been able to hunched over, do what I can. I just can't do the same amount I did before just because of the incision, but my strength is there and my mind is there. So that's my update. I'm frustrated. I'll let you know about tomorrow. And if they can get me in tomorrow, I know I have no food, no water, no nothing all day tomorrow, just in case. And I'm used to fasting. I do intermittent fasting. I don't like doing fasting and being on drugs that make me nauseous. Anyway, so it's either going to happen tomorrow or Monday. It's just harder with this holiday weekend, and we'll see whether it's an infection. In the meantime, I'm just concerned, and I want to get this over with and get some answers so I can get home. I've been meeting with an infectious disease doctor, an oncologist, breast cancer oncologist, the plastic surgery team, and different people who are making rounds. They're going to come see me in the morning and hopefully answer more questions. But they did say that I was feisty, and they knew that I was a journalist, always at heart, because I have driven them crazy, because I have questions about how things are done. And I want to make sure that I'm safe, that my little boy who wrote on my board, I love my mom, that I go home to him safely, whenever it is. If I have to stay here 4 more days, 5 more, okay, fine. But just get me fixed and get me home. So I'm in great hands. The plastic surgeon is amazing. It's just that I'm a complex case. So thank you. Don't forget to armor up. Listen, if I could walk laps with that walker hunched over, looking like a 90-year-old, you can get up and work out. It's prepare, present, prevail. You have to prepare your body for illness so you can present well to your medical team and position yourself to prevail. And I am doing every bit of that. I'm also resting. So just wish me luck tomorrow for my procedure. If I get in there, I really don't want to wish that someone has an emergency so I can get in there, or wish me luck Monday when they get me in. And other than that, have a great weekend. And thanks for all the prayers, the love, the cards, the gifts, taking care of Gabriel, rides for Gabriel, checking on me. The list goes on. And, I always say that in cancer, you lose so much, not just your identity. Like for me, I lost my DNA. You lose a lot, but you gain so much. I've lost friends who, even through this, don't call because they don't know what to say. But you gain angels and friends. And so there are some pluses and minuses and the new perspective. And so I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And that's my update. I'm going to try to post it. And anyway, hopefully wish me luck tomorrow or Monday. Have a great day. And don't forget to armor up. The 3 Ps. You can do it. Bye.